It has been over 10 years since I have left France to adopt the expat life. I always fly back home for Christmas, and every time I feel that reversed culture shock that I talk about, and I thought that I'd share some of the stuff that I find weird about the French with you. The number one thing that surprises me again every time I go back to France, but which comes back to me and hits me like a boomerang every time I come home, is how the French like to complain about everything. I start noticing it already halfway through the trip when I'm about to board my second flight, the one that takes me to Paris. So usually I start hearing the grumpy tone even before I hear that they speak French. The thing is that it's never nice to hear people complaining, and the French do it a lot, but they can also snap out of it as soon as you change subject, so you shouldn't take it seriously or personally, because complaining is not as much of a big deal in France as it is in other countries where I've lived. Number 2 is le quart d'heure de politesse. The literal translation for this is the quarter of an hour of courtesy. You see, in France, it is rude to arrive on time when you meet at someone's place. So you need to arrive 15 minutes late to give them time to be late themselves with their preparations. If you arrive on time, you'll find them still getting ready, or maybe even in their pajamas. Of course, it doesn't apply to the professional world, but you'll still find that there will always be tons coming late for business meetings. Punctuality isn't our forte. Number 3 is the Turkish toilets. You won't believe it, but they are pretty common in France. That's a disgrace. I don't know what's Turkish about them, but personally I've never seen them anywhere else than in France. They're still not our preference, believe me, and people tend to cringe when they have to use them. But it's pretty third world for the number 1 travel destination in the world. Number 4 is la bise. It's the way that you say hello to your friends, so you kiss them on the cheeks. I think that in other countries people think that it's elegant to do la bise, as if they are Christian Dior. But the truth is that you can look really stupid doing it, because depending on your region you would do either 2, 3 or 4 bis. So if 2 persons coming from 2 different regions are doing la bise to each other, there's always the one that looks stupid. So usually the one who is trying to do an extra kiss in the emptiness, and believe me, it happens all the time. Even with my cousins and uncles, I never know how many I should make. As a rule, I think that it's good to go for 2, because this way you're never the one who looks stupid. Number 5 is really old news, but some of the stuff that we eat can be surprising. For example, the snails. I find them delicious, but when you think of it, who the hell was the first French who decided to check if they were tasty? I can't help but think of the poor French guy who discovered that slugs weren't. Number 6 is that we don't usually use a plate for breakfast. I know it already shocked some of my friends visiting me in France, and now with all the habits that I have made abroad in the past 10 years, I can see why it surprises some people, but yeah, we eat straight on the table. But if you think of our traditional breakfast, it's not that weird, because it's not like we're eating scrambled eggs or anything like that. So traditionally we have some bread or a croissant with a jam and a café au lait or something like that. And since we use a tablecloth, it's supposed to be clean, and then we just use a ramasse-miettes to clean up the crumbles easily. Now, the first thing that Australians tell me about my country is a common misconception that the French aren't friendly. People seem to think that the French will only talk to you if you know a bit of our language, because we are so proud of our language. The truth though, I'll tell you, is that if you're in Paris, the Parisians are in a hurry and they don't like to be approached in the streets. They are grumpy even with me, and I'm French. So it's not that the French don't like tourists, it's just that they don't like talking to strangers. Some people might be intimidated by English, to top it up, but then if they see that you're trying to speak their language, they will be moved and will be more willing to help you, because it makes you look like a lost puppy and you might bring something exotic into their day. It would help my channel if you like this video to put a like at the bottom and to subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this, because if it wasn't for you guys, there would be no videos, so I hope that you like them. If you subscribe and that you push the bell to be notified, you'll get 3 videos per week. So on Mondays I publish my weekly vlogs, on Thursdays I publish some expat tips, and on Saturdays I'll show you something around the place where I'm staying. So it's usually Melbourne. But if I'm in another city, you'll see that. So thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe and spread the love.